Hello, welcome back. Last time I did Angry Eye Canyon 2, so we saw the pattern for what part 2 of this game is going to be about, so let's continue in Statue Volcano. Here, Fiery Peak. It's also silent in this room. So, second Terra key spent, we're going down right into the magma chamber. Longtime viewers of my channel may actually recognize this music. This was the first thing that I composed in Audiolab, and I found a use for it here. So anyway, hot coals everywhere. I am right inside an active volcano here. 4 statues to kill, but I can't make any kills directly because I'm on hot coals right now. So we're gonna have to use obstacles to do it, and there's this one conspicuous pillar right here. So yeah, basically you just have to figure out a way to get a statue to spend its turn not moving. So I awakened a second one during that process, so it needs to get to a convenient place. That one's now dead. So for this one, I don't have adequate space to be able to do it, so therefore I need something more. Let's get the something more from this one down here. Alright, so you now have a kill obstacle, and there we go. So pretty simple room if you know the pattern. Might take a little bit of trial and error if you don't, but I think that's fine. Firewalk. Right, this is an extended version of this song. You probably can't hear it very well. What do I have my music set to? 9? Okay, well, you hear it as well as you're gonna. Right, sorry, hang on. Don't just go into automatic mode. Parse the room first. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 statues, 2 flying snakes. That can be gotten out whenever I want to, and clearly I want to. 2 pressure plates. This statue is locked away. Something's gotta stand there. And clearly it's gonna have to be a statue because you won't come out on your own. So a statue has to find its way here. Also, this one's locked away, so a statue has to find its way here. Alright, so there's 1 statue free now. Also, we can see, and the journal will tell me, that a statue on hot coals is invulnerable to them until it awakens. So anyway, this situation, since it's pretty much the only thing I can do, you know, if I go in here I just die. Only thing I can do at the start, other than play with this pressure plate if I want to, is to release the flying snakes. And it's pretty clear that they have exactly one purpose, which is to be a moving wall for this statue. Yeah, so only statues block line of sight, flying snakes do not. Monsters can see through them. I guess we're not getting any element mixing just yet. These are all elements that were available to Volcano 1. Anyway, so I go through there. I've awakened the other statue. Right, move order meant it tried to bump here before the flying snake got out of its way. Alright, so you have remained alive. If I were to kill these flying snakes and bring this statue out, I couldn't really do anything with it, and there's nothing to deal with this third one. So, we need to do something more. What needs to happen is that, okay, so if I kill those and get that out from the other side, I want the statue to go here, clearly, and I can do that, but the problem is, it steps off by the time I need it there. So, just like in Fight or Flight, we need a flying snake lock to hold it in place. So 1 flying snake has to stay around, and lock that in place. The other one is just kind of a spacer. So, this looks like a mechanism made for that, but I can't really use it right now, because I need more space. Alright, so let's get some more space. Using this convenient little hook in the room right here. So I have some more space. I get you trapped in this bracket. And now you're ready to be a buffer. So statue goes into place. Snake goes into place. And with the lock in place, now I can deal with you. There we go. Alright, worker. Okay, so here let's see some new stuff. So, statues mixed with monster blocks, which I guess were available at the time. It's just I didn't happen to have any... Oh, right! So we're gonna see a mechanic that actually hasn't been shown before here. Also, block barriers are here. So all I can do is awaken the statue, and then just kind of slide it around. Bomb bug is here, you have to die somehow. If we parse the room, we'll see. Bomb bug has to be chased by the monster block toward the hot coals. Also, that monster block has to get there somehow, so I can't get in here. How are we gonna move some blocks? Well, there's this convenient worker here, who perhaps can do it for me. Well, perhaps. There we go, yeah, so statues push blocks. And we're gonna have to use that to make a smooth surface such that the monster block can go all the way south, because as we saw, I can't just have the statue push it, it just sidesteps around it. So, let's put something in this hole. Alright, there's a block that can go there. Yeah, I can push diagonally too. And I can go around this way. There's actually a quicker way to do this than just going in clockwise circles all the time. So at this point I can push the monster block a little bit, but you'll still sidestep there, so I need to fill that hole too. Alright, that hole's filled, so let's do this the quick way. I can actually go back to the north and around, and put you back in your handy spot. Alright, so now we gotta do two operations. Push diagonally that way, then horizontally. There we go, so smooth surface. Block barrier makes it so that I can just go up and around and not get the monster block stuck. Push along the smooth surface. Bombug is scared. Monster block is going toward the hot coals, so it dies. And the way the bombug dies... Right, now, I didn't actually have a way to stop it from being scared there, I think. So what I need to do is hit that pressure plate, which exposes it to hot coals. Also killing the statue, which needed to happen at some point. So everything just kind of resolves at once there. Journal's gonna tell me... Statue pushes blocks when moving into them, statue can push blocks diagonally. One of the things that can move diagonally, and move blocks that way too. Alright, cleaner. So a slug is here. A bunch of poison is too. Got two angry eyes completely isolated, which will have to be killed by mechanisms opening up the hot coals under them. So one here, one here. Alright, and then this whole deal in here. So what's going on? I can't get in there to interact with this toggle switch. Slug clearly has to come out and interact with that one. So, all I can do is mess with the statue. So let's bring it over here, and insert it into the center, and we'll find out that it's the cleaner that cleans up the poison. So also it's the thing that's going to have to change how the slug moves. So slug needs to move to the west. Let's just sort of get it on a different path here. Yeah, so moving to the west means I would need to basically... Yeah, there's pretty much only one way it'll happen. Bumping against something here, because that's where I can put an obstacle. And let's do that. So slug's coming out, going to the pressure plate. And that briefly opened up these and cleaned the poison off of them. So now I have to get to this. So I need my cleaner to make a way for me. But the problem we'll run into here is that there's this one particular bit of poison that I just can't deal with on my own. So I need the statue and the slug to interact a bit more. And I need just enough time to be able to get over there. So I position myself here. Slug turns. Statue gets around. I wait once. And the statue slides on the slug to get where it needs to go. Alright, so you clean the center, you clean the outer ring, then this just gets cleaned naturally by going through there. Statue's job is done. Toggle switch is accessible. And the room is done. Alright, so stand your ground. Hey, new element being introduced here. By the way, statue is unaffected by poison and removes it from the ground. So kind of like pushing a block across it. You can walk a statue across it to clean it up too. Yeah, so new element here. This is a trapdoor over hot coals. I guess not a new element, but a new application of an element. So trapdoors not only over pits and water, they can also be over hot coals, and some other stuff too, that we might see later. Alright, so all I can do is walk in here into this, like, second magma chamber sort of thing. And this is all hot coals except for one tile, so if I want to make any kills, I'm going to have to be standing in one specific spot. And that awakens both statues. So I gotta stand my ground here, but I've run out of ways to deal with flying snakes, so I need everybody on me at once when I'm coming in here. Does that work? I don't think it quite will, because two flying snakes are on me at the same time. What if I waste some time? I wasted the wrong amount. So yeah, just gotta figure out the right spacing and stuff. Basically, I want to reduce spacing to the flying snakes. And let's see, will this work? No. Will this work? No. Alright, so a little bit of trial and error here, maybe. So I'll pull you out, walk a path maybe like that. That works, perfect. Okay, so 1 turn killing a flying snake, 1 turn killing a flying snake, 1 turn of leeway, which with some patterns comes in handy. Hold still, kill statues, trapdoor drops, and everything is cool. Alright, load bearers. This is a complicated one. Bunch of stuff going on here. So bomb bug, looking that way. This toggles all those things at once. So yeah, another trapdoor over hot coals situation. 2 statues. And if I awaken those statues, we'll see they drop those trapdoors, eliminating my place to make my flying snake kills. Because the only way to get at those flying snakes is to be in here, jump off that, losing access to it. So they have to be the last thing that I kill. But I have no ground to stand on. So what needs to happen is this bomb bug needs to give me a hand. I close that so I can bring it south enough. And it's going to be coming over in this row. I reopen this, get first statue's attention, because I only need 1 trapdoor, I don't need both. So you drop that one, come here, block this statue's line of sight so I can get to your west, and lure the bomb bug to just the right spot to blow this up without it ever moving, and by blowing it up, that trapdoor is preserved. So to me that wasn't intuitive mechanics. Some people who've gone through this room were surprised that the trapdoor stays around if the statue gets blown up. I could see it both ways, but I guess you can just discover that during the process of this room, that destroying something without it actually, like, it's the act of stepping off the trapdoor that drops it, not the act of having stepped on it. Anyway, I think it's fine. Alright, so flying snakes come to me all at once, please. I stand my ground and kill them, and that's done. Alright, cooling sector. So there's ice in the volcano. And a couple of monster blocks, statue way down here, standing on a pressure plate that does a bunch of stuff. So if I just go deal with the statue now, then I'm never getting in here to do anything, because that's all blocked off. So we gotta do some setup here. Got these 2 bits of hot coals. That's the only way these are gonna die. So those are going to have to go diagonally across the ice into these spots, because that's just the only way to do anything with them. So we got to make a setup here. That this statue, by the way, the statue can be brought up here to do some work for me as a worker. And I need such a layout that allows it to push both of these into both of those. So the layout that allows that. And right, so note that, so here's a way to get one of them. This lines up diagonally, then I need the other one to go in. And note that the statue can't actually really go west usefully. I can kill a statue here, but that's not great. So after you start that sliding, I just can't get you back up to move this. So we need a way that involves no westward movement in order to get those in place. So this is a nicely west spot. And if you note, diagonal movement along here puts a statue in perfect line to move something that's in this spot. So basically the crux of the puzzle is to get a monster block stopped here. So we're going to do some ice walking to do that. There are a couple of ways to do this. I'll do it the quick way. So I can approach from here and get something in the right row, then approach from another angle to get something in the right column. Doesn't matter which is which, and that's the setup. So that's the quick way. If you don't see the trickiness with that, you can do it a slightly slower way by just sort of walking this along from west to east, starting in the row and not worrying, or sorry, starting in the row and not worrying about the column. This is a little longer and more tedious, so I like the quick way, but if you don't see the extra trickery, this works too. Alright, so that's the layout. Just gotta cache it in. You push that way, and those resolve, and then I have to bring you back out to actually make the kill. So there we go. Alright, Carver. So this is the classic thing that drops trapdoors in a big field of trapdoors, and you gotta just make things work somehow. So all of these gotta be pushed inward, and then the statue has to return to hot coals down here. So anyway, if I just try to do it the simplest way, First problem I'll run into is you don't have your push angle anymore. So if I try something like this, then you get trapped, so I need to lay out a way that you can get up there and push that. So let's have you approach from the north. Alright, you make the push, great, so that's one. So now you gotta push the other one. And how are we gonna do that? So let's approach from the other side, like, say, this. And I've still left myself enough bridge to get across. Seemed to work, let's just repeat it on the other side. So same deal. Come down here, approach from that angle. Push that in, have enough space to still get back out. And yeah, so do this and you'll find that the puzzle's actually very gentle. Again, this is a little bit of a joke room, like it looks extremely intimidating, but you start doing it, it just kind of solves itself. Maybe it's a little misplaced in here, but I kind of like where it is and what it does, even if it's not like a particular challenge. You get here, think it looks real hard, and then it's just easy. This room, on the other hand, so here's the boss fight, under fire. Volcano's the shortest of these. This is the last room in the zone, by the way. So, another big field of hot coals. I think, let's see, I did make it such that every room in the volcano involves hot coals in some way. That's the theme of the zone. So, 6 angry eyes here, 2 statues on hot coals, a bomb bug trapped away in this room. Believe it or not, this room's actually easier than it once was. So this toggle switch with the statue in the way of it. So if I try to go in here and do anything, everything's kind of hard to do in here. So angry eyes are like locking me down for all sorts of stuff. Of course, I can't make any kills directly. Going over here doesn't really help me much. I can open that up, but that's all I can do. And you know, I could do that myself without the angry eyes help too. So yeah, I can wake you up and make a kill, but you're in the way of that toggle switch. So if I try to do that differently, well, if I try to do that anyway at all, I can't get away and do anything. Well, okay, I can make that kill there. But the problem with this is it doesn't actually give me access to that switch, because this hallway is too long. So if we try to deal with the other one now, do that, it just dies, and is clearly in the way of dealing with this. So we got like some shenanigans going on with these statues. So both statues here have some trickery involved in getting them out. So for the bottom one, what you gotta do is fire this angry eye from here, then you fire that one. No, it's the other way around. Okay, so I fire this one. I actually have to wait here. Okay, so I fire this one. This is like a double side shot situation. So it's this exact sequence of moves. So move from east to west here with this priming. Prime that one. Then on your rest turn, there's enough time to go around, step south, then you're on your rest turn. I can get around. Statue moves before beams go off, so therefore I got the statue out alive. So you gotta figure out that move sequence for one thing. Then what do I do with this statue? So basically, like, another part of parsing the room is how is each monster gonna die? So statues die very easily, and that's actually part of the problem. Bomb bug, if this angry eye were dead, I could just go in there and take care of it. So that's gotta die somehow. So how are you gonna die? Well, in theory, if I had the bomb bug out, I could blow it up, but I can't get the bomb bug out with you alive. So therefore, you have to die another way. Let's parse this from the initial state. So the only other killing implement for this angry eye is the other angry eye down here. So obviously this has to open, which means I need to be there. Then these two shoot each other. So similar deal with these. That opens, these two shoot each other. These two don't really do anything until they shoot their friends. So that's their purpose. These are the killing mechanisms for those, and vice versa. So that takes care of those. What about these? Well, you might note there's not really anything around or in line with them, but they are both within an explosion radius right here. So we got these two annihilating each other, these two annihilating each other, bomb bug blowing up here to take out those two. And then statues just either get killed by somehow making them spend a turn on hot coals or by being shot by an I-beam. So then from that, we have to put together an actual solution to what's going on here. So for one thing, the bomb bug needs to come out. And bomb bug coming out means that I need to not get shot by this angry eye. So either I need this angry eye dead before I go to the bomb bug, or I need something else to happen. So that angry eye being dead before going to the bomb bug is actually a problem, because if you evaluate the constraints, so this must be dead to get bomb bug out. This must be open for that to be dead. This either has to be blocked or dead for me to get to the toggle switch. Is there a way to block it? As far as I know, there's not. So statue rubble would have to go in one of these locations. So how would you get it into any of those locations? If you could have the statue approaching from the west, you could say be here, slide the statue up here, have it slide along this wall and get... No, the angry eye wouldn't see it. Anyway, but there's no way to get the statue to the west. So, if we're not blocking sightline, that means this has to be dead, which means the bomb bug has to be out before this angry eye dies. So with those constraints, that means bomb bug comes out before toggle switch is hit. Which means we need a sightline blocker somewhere in here, one of these 3 tiles. So, these are our sightline blockers, so somehow we gotta get a statue killed in one of those locations. So let's work on that. Doing that involves... Okay, so let's try for the south statue. So I can bring you out here like that. Oh, no I can't. I need to go here, right. I can bring you out of here like this. And while I can kill you, it also involves taking a laser beam right in the butt. Or the face, either way. So, Ferret getting lasered is not so good for solving the rest of the puzzle. I don't think there's anything else I can do to kill you in that spot. Let's see, if I spend a turn here, you just sidestep around the other way. I can make that kill that way, which is interesting. Then you might note that that laser beam that just killed me while I was trying to make a statue kill here now would be blocked in that situation. So first of all, let's try cashing this in and... Right, so I fire you downward to get you out safely. So you're coming toward me. It'd be great to get you to be the one to die down here. But I just can't quite work that out. The angles just don't quite allow for it. If I could step over here and then south... Wait, hold on. Right, now you're in the way. Yeah, so by the time I can go south enough to get you to this spot, you've gone too much west. So, we gotta do it in the other order. So wait for that to burn its turn. Rescue the statue. Get it down here. Don't kill it there, because if I step south, you're offset by 1, so you get hit. So spend a couple of turns. Get down here. Prime this shot. Move over here. Shot goes off when you step in front. And now I have this sightline blocker on the west side of you. So then we do the dance down here. Get this out. And now I can step west without getting lasered and get my sightline blocker in the right place. It's really pretty serious. This is like one of the hardest rooms in the game, I would say. There's like a lot involved with it. Yeah, so Volcano is pretty small and easygoing right up until you get to this like super boss of a room. Anyway, so things resolve at this point. I can break that open myself. An earlier iteration of this room was just kind of rude about this. I had hot coals here somehow. How did that work? Right, there was some reason that I had to take a detour to have this angry eye shoot to the east to prepare the cracked wall being broken because I couldn't crack it open myself. That was like one step too far. So I made it so that you can just break it open yourself and not have to worry about that. It made more sense that way. So Bomb Bug comes out. Navigates this gauntlet too. That's what these 2 clean spaces are for. So I can wait there and have the Bomb Bug turn the corners it needs to turn. And with those kills made, I can access my switch over here, and the rest of the room just sort of resolves. So there we go. Yeah, so that's kind of a taste of like what a more complicated room that pulls not too many of its punches other than like this one could look like. I'm looking forward to playing community levels that that take this to the extreme and, you know, just show no restraint. I am going to get stumped playing my own game, and I'm going to love it. Anyway, Volcano Prize. That is the end of this zone. So, Volcano 2 is done. And next time we got, I guess in order, it's going to be Marsh 2. Alright, looking forward to it. I'll see you then.